Fatia Ayat, could you come up to the podium, please? Fatia is the voice of youth. She's a 12-year-old 7th grader who is a child rights activist and a climate campaigner. She gave her first speech to the United Nations when she was, are you ready for this, ladies and gentlemen, 7 years old. She has given TED Talks. She has spoken to the Ford Foundation, the Concordia Summit, Harvard, Georgia Tech. She regularly speaks against global warming, climate change, carbon emission, and fossil fuels to stop child abuse, gender discrimination, and domestic violence. She has pursued professional development programs on leadership from Harvard's continuing education program and also the UN Institute for Training and Research on gender equality, climate action, renewable energy. Fatia's prototype of the space rover Perseverance and the helicopter Ingenuity have been nominated for display in NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. She has also won award for her art and published 4 books. I'm so embarrassed. I'm going to hand the mic to her. I present to you my young Shiro. Fatia Ayat, my new role model in life.
Thanks, Virginia, for that remarkable introduction. At the very beginning of my speech today, I would like to introduce you all to the remarkable story of Monawara Begum, a physically disabled woman entrepreneur from a rural village in Bangladesh. Monawara lost her reliance in community clinics when she saw that because of inadequate infrastructure, shortage of skilled workers, limited medical supplies, inequalities in access, and low-quality healthcare, women in her region, and particularly those of reproductive age, lack the knowledge about clean hygiene management. Recognizing the challenges faced by women in her region, in her community, and understanding the limited success of community clinics in menstrual hygiene management, Monawara decided to create a positive change through entrepreneurship. She decided to produce reusable and sustainable hygiene products because disposable items were hard to find in her low-income community. With further training and guidance from some NGOs, like International Development Enterprises, she has learned new skills and has learned to make reusable pads. Now, Monawara would like to increase her door-to-door sales territory to reach more adolescent girls with the message of self-reliance, overcoming disability, and the importance of hygiene management. Her story underscores and encapsulates the importance of women entrepreneurship to empower both women and young people. Ladies and gentlemen, as a 12-year-old child rights activist and climate campaigner from Bangladesh, a low-level country and a region vulnerable to the adverse effects of climate change, including erratic rainfall patterns, exotic river erosion, excessive floods, and express water salination, I recognize and I believe that women have the potential to change the world through empowering themselves with advocacy, technology, and the proper knowledge and education. It's not only Monawara, but many rural women in Bangladesh are also continuously starting and founding various startups based on climate-resilient agriculture by developing sustainable farming practices. Organizations like Swedish International Development Cooperation, United Nations Environment Program, and the U.S. Agency for International Development are empowering these women to secure their livelihoods despite climate-related challenges by educating them about drought-resistant crop varieties, efficient water treatment methods, and organic farming techniques, and other things like these. This entrepreneurial journey not only empowered the women in their community, but also demonstrated the vital role of women in closing this financing gap and coming up with gender-based climate actions. Their story serves as an inspirational reminder and an inspirational example of how women can be instrumental in closing this financing gap and advocating for gender parity and climate justice on a global scale, even though they receive limited funding and limited resources from the government. This is why I must ask all the global leaders present here today to emphasize the powerful impact and crucial role that women play in closing this financing gap. I ask you all to come up with your expertise, with your encouragement and your enhancement to create a more inclusive and prosperous global economy. Individuals like Monowara and many others like her in Bangladesh, driven by their passion and their determination, have already shown how entrepreneurship can be a way to provide and work towards the community and enhancing the community. They deserve further help and support from organizations that will enhance their leadership qualities. So I encourage you all to come up and encourage these women in their entrepreneurial journey. Thank you.
My new role model in life